future momentum is in my favor. That's because the euro market should move in the same direction as the cable, which is the pound. So when to trade? The cable is most active from 3 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern. I'll focus on this time frame for entering day trades. Okay, you can add more detail here, where you could add okay, so I'll also look for trades during the options expiration at 10 a.m. Eastern Time and the London close from 11 to 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Patterns for entry. Okay, so you're narrowing down. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, excuse me, because I did that in the kit. But you're narrowing down all of the things that you need to see, and this is something that is very useful. And I don't want to put this up on the web page because it really does make a difference if you do some of the work. And you'll see that in the kit. I did probably 90% of the work for you, but let me tell you, it's the last 10% that's really going to make this whole thing your own, which means you really own it, you really understand it, and you start to get a feel for it. In fact, one of the members emailed me today and said, I've been having a problem finding the patterns. And they told me I could see when you drew a pattern, like here was a pennant pattern. They'd say I could see after you drew the pattern, but when I was looking at the chart, I couldn't see them. And it wasn't until they actually printed the chart out and hand drew the patterns in that they started to get a real feel for what was going on. Now, if you're at a point where you can't see the patterns, try printing out the chart. Try drawing it where you can get a literal feel for what's going on. That was just a little side note. What I'm getting at here is if you have a checklist where you have a certain number of things which have to be complete in order for you to have a trade, it will help you with your decision. Okay? And that's one way to take. Well, I don't know if I dealt with this in the kit. It's just escaping me at the moment. But there are two basic. Let me see. Hopefully, I'm spelling that correctly. Dyslexia can be a bear. Some discretionary, and then mechanical. Okay, these are the two basic kinds of systems. Okay, a discretionary system means, you can really get in and get out whenever you want. A mechanical system has a very specific set of rules where it's 1, 2, 3, and you enter every time without fail. No matter what's going on, you don't look at anything else. You just look for 1, 2, 3, and then you get in. Or 1, 2, 3, and then you exit. Okay? Well, by using a checklist, you can take a discretionary system and make it more mechanical, meaning you don't have to think as much. You see, what happens when the market's moving around and you think there's some opportunity there, and then it turns, or the market's moving up here, trade sideways, starts to go down, and you're thinking, man, why didn't I get in there? Or you're thinking on this side, man, why didn't I get in here? I knew the market was going to go. Well, what's happening is you're not able to come to a decision. So when you have a checklist, what I would suggest doing is put the most important at the top, and then the less important at the bottom. So you may have, my suggestion would be, number one, let me change color here. Number one is the sweet spot. Okay, and then you can even make that more specific. Remember, the goal here is not to sit in front of the market all the way from 3 a.m.